5 months pregnant, I was pushed from the third floor, blood pooling everywhere. Noah Clarke summoned top experts from around the world, saving my life, but the child, like the previous 7, could never return. Overwhelmed with grief, I wandered aimlessly in madness, desperate to catch one last glimpse of my lost child. Then, in a corner of the hospital, I overheard a conversation between the doctor and Noah. "President Clarke, there are actually other ways. Why must you? The one in your wife's womb, it's your own flesh and blood after all. May has misophonia, and she has needs. This is the most foolproof solution. I was worried others might not be healthy." The truth about losing the child was abruptly laid bare before her eyes. It turned out that my loving husband was the real culprit. Since he loves so deeply, May, fine, I'll let them have their way. Just beyond the door, the conversation continued in a corner of the hospital. "Get ready. While Ray Cookie's still unconscious, go perform the hysterectomy on her now." The doctor stood frozen in place. "You want to remove Mrs. S. uterus. Clarke, I must remind you, you currently have no heirs. If you really remove Mrs. S. uterus, you won't have any successors. I don't need an heir. May gave birth to my child yesterday. I promised her I would leave all my property to our child. Keeping Ray's womb is a threat." The doctor showed reluctance and said urgently, "But your child with Miss Reed will eventually take someone else's surname and call another man dad. President Clarke, is it really worth it? Moreover, the lady has had 7 miscarriages, and the chance of her getting pregnant again is already very low." Noah lit a cigarette, his voice filled with deep emotion and bitterness. "There's no question of worth. I love May, so I'll give her everything I have, but," Noah frowned, "no buts, just do as I say." Noah was just about to stand up when his phone rang, and he accidentally pressed the speaker button. "Clarke, bro, I got the money. Hey, next time there's such a good deal, call me again. I've done it 7 times, I know the ropes, and I've already thought about next time. I'm going to pretend to be a kidnapper and put a fake bomb on the lady's belly. There won't be a next time. Take your money and get out of City B." Footsteps sounded from inside. I stumbled back to the ward. Barely having time to lie down, Noah had already come in. "Ray, when did you wake up?" I was drenched in sweat, trembling as I forced myself to stay composed. "Just woke up. I noticed you weren't here and was about to go look for you." Noah gazed with a scrutinizing look. My heart was already pounding with nervousness. Just when I thought he had discovered me, he scooped me up and placed me on the hospital bed. "How could you be so careless with yourself? We've already lost our baby. I can't bear to lose you too." How dare he even bring that up? Thinking of my child who was deliberately killed by him, I tightly clutched my chest, tears welling up uncontrollably. It turns out that all those car accidents, robberies, and falls I encountered were never accidents. Instead, it was my husband, time and again, trying to kill me for the sake of his lover. "The doctor just said your uterus wasn't completely cleaned out, and you'll need another surgery. Raydn't be afraid. We'll definitely have a beautiful baby. Their eyes will be like yours, their nose and mouth like mine. When that time comes, we'll love them twice as much and make up for all our regrets." Noah handed me a glass of milk, and as he turned slightly, I saw him add something to it. He held me in his arms, gently comforting me. His eyes filled with heartache, but I knew this was just a facade he used to numb me. "Do I really have to drink it? Can I not drink it, Noah? You've already taken 7 of my children from me. Will you now rob me of my last chance to be a mother too?" Without the slightest hesitation, he patted my head with a doting smile. "Such a grown-up, yet still acting like a baby. What if skipping the surgery means you won't recover? Do you want to break your husband's heart? Here, let me feed you, darling." He brought the milk to my lips, leaving me no chance to refuse. I tightly shut my eyes, as if swallowing not milk but shards of glass. My consciousness slowly faded, and in a daze, I saw the doctor who had conspired with Noah walk in. "Proceed with the surgery now, and also," Noah's voice hesitated for a few seconds, "find a way to use anesthesia to paralyze her lower limbs." "President Clarke, is that really necessary? Isn't it too cruel?" "Do as I say." I knew Noah was always cautious and suspicious, but I never thought he could be so ruthless just from seeing me wake up early. My child, my chance to be a mother. And now even my chance to stand up. He's taking everything away from me. "Noah, are you really going to tear my heart out like this?" I roared in despair, struggling to sit up, only to sink deeper into unconsciousness. As the anesthesia began to wear off, I faintly heard the doctor say, "President Clark, the uterus has been removed, and she will never be able to stand again in her life." Noah was overjoyed and repeated twice, "Good, good," fully awake. His tears fell onto my hand. A genuine outpouring of pain. "Ray, the doctor said your uterus is necrotic and you'll never be able to bear children." I ignored him, frantically trying to move my legs, but there was no sensation at all. I broke down in uncontrollable sobs, trembling as I demanded, "Noah, what have you done to my legs?" His tears fell in large drops, choking on his words several times before he could continue. "There was an accident during the anesthesia procedure. You're paralyzed from the waist down, Ray. Don't be afraid, no matter what you become, I'll never leave you, I'll love you forever." I never imagined Noah's acting could be this good. He dismissed the nurse and personally fed me porridge, wiped my body, and even took care of cleaning the lockyer himself, after being busy until evening. He kissed my forehead tenderly. "Ray, you've endured so much hardship during pregnancy for me. I'll treat you twice as well from now on." I looked at his weary face and coldly averted my gaze. "If you're tired, take a rest. All right, your husband will stay here with you. Call me if you need anything." After he fell asleep, I picked up his other phone. I've always known Noah had another phone, but it was for work, so I never checked it. It only took one try to successfully unlock it. The password was May's birthday. As soon as the lock screen lit up, the first thing that caught my eye was his and May's wedding photo. A wedding photo. He actually went and took wedding photos with May. The stark whiteness of it all stung my eyes painfully. With trembling hands, I opened his WeChat, where Noah was affectionately calling her baby. The densely packed chat records made my heart sink the more I read them. It turns out every one of his business trips was just an excuse to accompany May. I've sulked many times, resenting that he never accompanied me to the hospital. Countless times when the doctor asked about the child's father, I could only smile awkwardly and say he was very busy. He always takes a long time to reply to messages. I'm working hard to earn money for our baby's formula. Besides, checkups aren't a big deal, and my presence wouldn't be of much help. It would just waste time. You can handle things on your own, so just do it yourself. Yet, he accompanies May for her prenatal care, attending every single checkup without fail. No matter how busy he is, he says he can't wait for their baby to be born, that the two of them are the most precious things in his life. Looking down, my heart was wrenched with unbearable pain. Every time I was pregnant, they were discussing how to kill my child. Even the car accident I had when I was pregnant a year ago was May's own doing. She said she wanted to experience the thrill of hitting someone. Noah readily agreed, just a simple reminder, go easy on them. They casually discussed how to hurt me, how to kill my child, as if they were talking about the weather, fingernails dug deep into the palms, blood dripping from clenched hands, opening the photo album, tens of thousands of pictures, each one featuring May, posed shots, candid moments, the two of them waking up together, taking walks, returning home, Noah thoughtfully preparing nutritious meals for her during pregnancy. There are still 99+ recorded videos left. When I switched over, it felt like someone had poured a bucket of ice water over me, chilling me to the core. Inside, there were countless videos of them entangled naked, as if deliberately documenting every intimate moment. There were even role-playing scenes, Noah wearing a maid outfit, kneeling on the ground. I clutched my stomach tightly, nauseated to the point of being unable to utter a single word. In addition to those videos, there were 6 more labeled as the first, second, up to the 6th, realizing what it was. My blood surged violently, and a metallic taste rose in my throat. I clenched my teeth and clicked. For the 6th time, Noah and May Reed were chatting and laughing together. Right in front of me that knife seemed to slash across my body. My heart felt as if being sliced by 1,000 blades. The pain so intense it made my stomach cramp. I could no longer hold back, leaning over the bedside and retching violently, sleepless through the night, my clothes soaked with tears. The next day Noah, as usual, specially bought me a loving breakfast, a variety of options, both Chinese and Western styles, soy milk, fried dough sticks, bread, egg tarts. I used to think this was his way of pampering me, but now I realize it was just an indifferent gesture, devoid of genuine care. Remembering last night's video, I gagged again. Seeing me uncomfortable, Noah felt heartbroken. "Why are you still feeling unwell? It's all my fault for making Ray suffer. It's nothing, I want to go home. Noah's expression stiffened for a moment. You've had another miscarriage, and Mom isn't too happy about it. Going back now would just be walking into her line of fire. It's better to wait a while before returning, so you don't have to endure her temper. I didn't say anything, but from his expression, I could roughly guess what was going on. In the afternoon when he wasn't around, I packed my things and went home by myself in a wheelchair. As soon as I entered the house, I saw May sitting in Noah's lap. Both of them playing with the child together. The mother-in-law brought a bowl of bird's nest from the kitchen and fed May spoonful by spoonful. May, the three of them chatted and laughed, just like a happy family. When she saw me enter, the mother-in-law's gaze instantly turned sharp. You jinx, how dare you show your face here? My son has been serving you good food and drink every day, and how do you repay us? Someone as unlucky as you should just die outside. You knew you were pregnant yet kept jumping around all day. How many lives of the Clark family have you taken? Why didn't you just fall and die, you wretched thing? Clark, let me tell you, from today onward, the only daughter-in-law I acknowledge is May. Get out of my house right now, you're just dirtying my floors. May followed her mother-in-law's gaze, her eyes brimming with smugness. Godmother, don't say such things. Or else if sister-in-law gets jealous and spreads rumors outside that I'm seducing Noah, it wouldn't look good. Just see if she dares. I knew my mother-in-law never liked me. She thought I was too capable to control and would dominate Noah after marriage. While May was beautiful and sweet-tongued, making everything revolve around her and Noah, so she was determined to have May as her daughter-in-law. But later, May married a wealthy man, and I willingly gave up my career to return to family life. She only reluctantly acknowledged me. All these years I haven't been able to bear a child for the Clark family, and her dissatisfaction with me had long reached its peak. Now that May has returned and even bore a son for Noah, she naturally has no Clark reservations about venting all her dissatisfaction on me. But she doesn't know that all 7 of my miscarriages were directly ordered by her son. Every one of her grandsons was treasured by her daughter-in-law May, who, in the past, Noah would mediate. But now he held the child May had borne him, oblivious to it all. May snuggled into his arms, feigning a pout. Noah brother, all your attention is on our son now. I'm being overshadowed. If you keep this up, I'm going to get upset. Noah pinched her cheek affectionately, his eyes filled with tenderness. I knew you'd be jealous. Look what that is. Following May's gesture, my eyes landed on the bold characters equity transfer agreement. Wow, Noah brother, you're so good to me. She happily kissed Noah on the corner of his lips, then looked at me with triumphant eyes. I gave her a cold smile. Enjoy your happiness while it lasts. It won't be long before you and your dear Noah come crying back to beg me. But won't your wife be angry if you do this? After all, this is your entire fortune. Noah was taken aback, as if just realizing I was there, and quickly said, Ray, don't misunderstand. Mom and I discussed recognizing May's child as our godson, which is why we transferred the shares to her. This is a last resort. Since your uterus is damaged and you can't bear children, the Clark family can't be left without an heir. I have to place all my hopes on Yuan. You'll understand me, right? My ears were ringing as I looked at Noah in disbelief. What's his name? He froze, then quickly lowered his head, too guilty to meet my eyes. Yuan is the name Noah and I chose for our child, symbolizing completeness and perfection. I had longed for this child for 8 years. Countless nights I cried out for Yuan, hoping my lost child would return to me. He actually used this name for the child he had with May. How could he be so cruel as to go this far? Her name is Yuan, given by Noah himself, symbolizing perfection and fulfillment. May replied with an innocent look. I couldn't bear it any longer. They could torture and hurt me, but how could they trample on a mother's love for her child like this? Like a madman, I lunged at May, wishing I could perish together with her, but paralyzed from the waist down, my desperate effort only sent me tumbling off the wheelchair. My mother-in-law looked at me with disgust. What are you doing lying on the ground like trash? Aren't you ashamed enough? If I were you, I'd drown myself in the river immediately. Our Clark family is so unlucky to be stuck with a jinx like you. It's shortening my lifespan. Noah wanted to help me up, but May suddenly frowned and clutched her chest. Noah, I have engorged breasts. It's so uncomfortable. Noah anxiously scooped her up in his arms. I'll take you to rest. They entered the room, and my mother-in-law took the sleeping child from them, glaring at me. Now that you're back, why aren't you scrambling to cook? waiting for this old woman to prepare the meal and feed it straight to your mouth. I struggled to get up, my nails digging deep into my palms. Then enjoy this dinner to the fullest. After tonight, I'll have every single one of you kneeling on the ground begging for my forgiveness. After preparing the meal, I scanned the living room but didn't see Noah and May. Walking to our bedroom, I suddenly froze, my blood turning to ice in an instant. The sounds inside were unbearable to hear. Through the crack in the door, May sat half-naked in Noah's arms. "Noah brother, isn't this exciting? Your wife is right outside. You're such a troublemaker, teasing me at a time like this." The intimate sounds inside grew louder. I suppressed my disgust and turned on my phone's video recording. They were both so engrossed that neither noticed me. During dinner that evening, May unusually kept serving me dishes. "Ray, we're all resting, yet you're still busy cooking despite having had a miscarriage. It's too much work, you should eat more." After the meal, I felt nauseous and controlled my wheelchair to go into the yard. I don't know how long it had been when a glass bottle marked 7th shattered in front of me. She smirked maliciously. "Ray, was dinner tasty? Do you know what was added to it?" The last thread of sanity in my mind snapped as I realized something, staring at her in disbelief. "TSK, do you know, you look like a dog right now, a legless dog at that. Just one glance at you makes me sick. If I were you, I'd have killed myself long ago. How dare you still have the face to live? You'll never compare to me. So what if you married Noah? He still loves me desperately, even killed your 7 children for me." Actually, I had experimental channels. "But he was so concerned about my research data that he insisted on taking the child from your womb for my use." My body trembled uncontrollably as I frantically wheeled my chair forward. But May slapped herself twice and collapsed into the flower bed. The next second, the wheelchair was knocked over. Noah stared at me with eyes wide in fury. "Ray, how could you be so vicious?" May sobbed out her accusation. I noticed my sister-in-law was in a bad mood, so I came to comfort her. But as soon as I mentioned the child, she accused me of coming to show off, slapped me twice, and pushed me into these thorns. Noah's face darkened. "You can't have children yourself. Yet you're jealous of May. I never thought you were this kind of person." I stared at him intently. "You killed all my children. Noah, how much longer do you plan to deceive me?" Noah's expression changed abruptly. Then he carried May away, leaving behind the words, "You're utterly unreasonable." Watching their retreating figures locked in embrace, not a shred of tenderness remained in my heart. The next morning, I had a lawyer draft the divorce agreement. I sent the backup Noah U disc from the work phone and the recorded videos to the court, filing charges against Noah and May for bigamy and attempted murder. After completing these tasks, I headed straight to the airport. On the way to the airport, I received a text message from Noah. "If you come to the hospital now to apologize, Tomari, I might still forgive you." I sneered and turned off my phone. "I don't need your forgiveness, I just hope you can withstand my revenge." Noah, seeing that I didn't reply, called me, only to find the number disconnected. Feeling a bit strange, I was just about to ask my assistant to go home and check when I saw him running over in a panic. "Clark, something terrible has happened." Noah frowned, visibly displeased. "Haven't I taught you to stay calm in any situation? What's with all this panic? The company's stock started plummeting this morning, and the internet is abuzz with rumors that you Andrade are murderers." Noah took the phone handed by his assistant. Quickly scanning the screen, online discussions were heated with claims that he murdered his wife for his lover, caused her 7 miscarriages, and even posted numerous pieces of evidence. Upon closer inspection, Noah realized that the so-called evidence were all his chat records with May. Realizing something, he turned to instruct his assistant, "Quickly contact Ray. As long as she steps forward, there's room for this matter to turn around." The company's PR department received the news this morning and immediately contacted the madam, but her phone shows as disconnected. Noah roared, "Then go find her, go to my house to look." He took out his phone, lowered his head and kept sending me messages, only to find that I had already blocked him. For some reason, he always felt this was just the beginning. An inexplicable panic began to rise in his heart. The assistant had only left for a short while before rushing back in with an anxious expression, handing over the documents in hand. "President Clark, someone just delivered these documents." Noah took them from the assistant, and the first document that caught his eye was the divorce agreement. His hand trembled slightly. At first glance, The property division clause demands an equal split of the company's shares. May watched from afar, suddenly sitting up from the hospital bed. Her voice rising sharply. How dare she demand a share of the property? Noah ignored her. Open the second document. It's a core technology termination notice. Seeing this, Noah's heart sank to the bottom. When he started the business, it was my joining that enabled Clark to break through the technical bottleneck. I have always been providing core technical support for the company. Later, Clark's mother disliked that I was always outshining Noah. To marry him, I resigned from company affairs. After I left, the company went downhill and even nearly went bankrupt. I offered to return to the company to help him, but he flatly refused. I know Clark's mother's words often actually reflect Noah's intentions. He resented my strong capabilities at the company and my grasp of core technologies, which made him lose face. To protect his self-esteem, I privately established a studio and helped the company overcome difficulties through official collaboration. I've been getting by like this all these years. They never got hold of my core data, yet I know everything about his company inside out. If the property division on the divorce agreement just now gave Noah a shock, then this core technology termination notice is nothing short of a dimensional strike. Noah finally understood. I'm holding his lifeline. You don't need to go, I'll find her myself. May complained. Noah, she pushed me into a thorn bush last night, and now my whole body hurts. With his mind preoccupied, Noah impatiently brushed her off. If you're in pain, just rest at the hospital. He hadn't even stepped out the door when his assistant called out to him. Director Clark, the street is completely blocked, crowds of reporters and onlookers. If you go out like this, you might. Maybe you should disguise yourself. Having held a high position for years, Noah couldn't bring himself to back down and stubbornly walked out. In an instant, he was surrounded by reporters and spontaneous crowds, some worried about the stock plunge, others protesting on behalf of Ray. In short, Noah arrived home with egg liquid all over his head. Clark's mother was so frightened by the people blocking the door that she shrank into a corner of the living room. Mom, where's Ray? That jinx left last night when you took May away. Why are you asking about her? Noah's heart kept sinking. Son, what's going on with those people outside? They keep throwing things at our house, shouting about a murderer. What's happening? Could it be that Ray, that Jinx, killed someone? Son, you must divorce her immediately. Noah did not respond. Instead, he called his secretary and demanded to track my movements from last night until today. The secretary checked the surveillance footage from the residential compound's entrance and the airport. Discovering that I had left the country, he sent the video to Noah, who finally couldn't sit still any longer. This meant I was ready to fight to the death. Noah searched through all my friends but still couldn't reach me, only to receive news first about the withdrawal of investments from various company projects. With the spread of the withdrawal news, the company's stock kept plummeting. Heading straight for the red line, he had no choice but to return to the company with his head covered. He repeatedly assured the board that he would quell the online rumors and recover the core technology. After barely managing to deal with it, he returned to the hospital. As soon as he entered, he heard May complaining. Noah, Ray is being so unfair. Look at what's online. Everyone is cursing at me. She's just a half-paralyzed cripple now. Without you, she can't even get a bite to eat. Why don't you just divorce her? Be ruthless and teach her a lesson. Otherwise, I'll have endured all these curses for nothing. The things they're saying are so vile. May spoke with tears welling up in her eyes, completely unaware of the gravity of the situation. Noah looked uncomfortable but stepped forward to comfort her. Ray went a bit too far this time, but we were indeed too harsh. I've reflected on it too. I shouldn't have crippled her legs. She's such a lively person who loves to run and jump. Being paralyzed from the waist down must be unbearable for her. When she comes back, I'll definitely hire the best doctors and make it up to her properly. This remark caused May great dissatisfaction. Just as she was about to lose her temper, Noah received multiple payment reminders in succession. He abruptly changed the subject. May, first return the shares I transferred to you. May interrupted him, flatly refusing. No, you promised it to me and the baby. How can you go back on your word? May's reaction took Noah by surprise, leaving him stunned for a second. He had always believed they shared a deep understanding, which was why he transferred part of his company shares to her after she gave birth. He never calculated gains or losses. His kindness towards the mother and child came from genuine sincerity. That's why they hurt Ray like that. But the company is in crisis now. I just want to take it back temporarily to ease the cash flow. I'll return it to you once we're through this. Noah tried to persuade her gently. But May immediately turned hostile. You're just having regrets now, conspiring with Ray to trick my shares back. I won't let you succeed. What's in my hands stays mine. Noah, don't forget I bore you a son. How could you treat me like this? Unable to reclaim the shares from May, Noah had no choice but to sell the Clark family's villa. Mrs. Clark moved from the grand villa to a small house. Upon learning it was because May refused to return the shares, she stormed furiously to the hospital. The two barely exchanged words before coming to blows. Clark's mother, being older and unable to physically overpower May, in a moment of desperation, grabbed a nearby kettle of boiling water and threw it at her. May suffered severe burns covering 90% of her face. Clark's mother was immediately arrested by the police for intentional assault. I had just finished my rehabilitation when I learned this news. I contacted top international experts, and fortunately, with timely treatment, my leg has gradually regained sensation. Shanoa's assistant also gave me a general overview of the company's situation. Back then, I returned to the company by providing core technology through my studio, and he was the person I worked with. I've helped him a lot over the years, and we've maintained a good relationship. He found out Noah what had done to me and voluntarily shared this information with me. He said, one must have a conscience. I stayed in the hospital for a while, and my legs mostly regained sensation, requiring only regular checkups. After being discharged, I rented a small villa in the suburbs. After cleaning the house, I turned on my old phone. One after another, domestic news notifications came through. I tapped to take a look. All of them were Clark Group's disputes. It is said that Clark Group's president is suspected of being a psychopath, having abused his wife for 8 years and intentionally caused her to miscarry. It is reported that Clark Group's core technology has been leaked, stocks have plummeted, various projects are withdrawing investments, and the company is on the verge of bankruptcy. There was one more. I clicked to skim through it. It is May who Clark Group's president to court, accusing him of going back on his word. Promised shares were taken back on the grounds of not being notarized. No one would turn down money when the situation gets tough enough. Noah wouldn't hesitate to Clark sacrifice their relationship. As formerly, she was after the money from the start. Noah taking back the shares would be a death blow to her. It's no surprise they'd fight to the bitter end. Combined with online rumors of Noah abusing his wife, some guessed that May was the other woman. Online denunciations of these two individuals quickly reached a fever pitch. At this very moment, Clark Corporation's CEO Noah issued a clarification statement through his personal account, stating that his heart belongs solely to his wife Ray. His statement directly propelled the public opinion to its climax. Some netizens even dug up allegations that he had intentionally murdered his own unborn child, up to 7 times, just to use the fetuses for experiments on his mistress. The plot was so shocking that many dismissed it as a rumor, but later, numerous nurses and doctors came forward anonymously, corroborating the incident from multiple angles. Public outrage erupted. Many people have also raised doubts, stating that such a situation would already constitute a legal violation, and if true, the police should have arrested those involved long ago. Just as the online discussion began to wane, May and Noah were summoned by the court. For a while, all sorts of rumors spread. Some even speculated that my prolonged absence meant I had already been killed and my body disposed of by them. I smiled and exited the page, opening the chat app. Noah sent me many messages using someone else's account. I skimmed through them briefly. All were confessions and pleas for my forgiveness. He said you don't know what you've got till it's gone. He said he truly loves me. He said he mistook fish eyes for pearls before, and only now realizes I'm the most important. I think he's utterly hypocritical. It was his repeated choices to hurt and deceive. Realizing that I discovered the truth and chose to leave, he showed no remorse or repentance. Instead, only when cornered did he claim to have realized that he truly loved me. His love certainly comes with a cost and a price. I can't afford it, nor dare I want it. Noah was summoned by the court and chose to be released on bail pending trial. He walked to the doorstep of what was once his home, his entire being exuding a sense of dejection. Only at this moment did he realize how happy he had been in the past, a thriving career, a loving wife, and there would have been adorable children. All of this was obscured by his self-righteous love. before all this happened, he thought he truly loved May, but after everything that happened during this time, he finally understood. He merely enjoyed the feeling of being the center of attention. He sat at the door, with Ray's every smile and frown flashing through his mind. She used to smile so much, but since when did she stop smiling altogether? Perhaps it was because of the hardship, or perhaps he had unknowingly fallen in love with Ray. Now he truly misses her. Noah took out his phone, eager to tell Ray that he truly realized his mistake. He wanted to tell her how much he missed her and loved her, but May's call came in first. She apologized to Noah, blaming all the faults on me. Noah, brother, even if Ray made many mistakes, you shouldn't get a divorce. Now that things have come to this, none of us can back down gracefully. Whether to divorce depends on Ray's decision. I also want to try to save the marriage. See what she means. Doesn't she love you desperately? Give her some sweetness to make her withdraw the lawsuit quickly. Noah felt for the first time that May's naivety was utterly foolish. He laughed. If you've done something wrong, you have to face the consequences. If you want her forgiveness, go talk to her yourself. May grew anxious. You're the one who did all those things. What does it have to do with me? I can't ruin my whole life for this. Noah, don't forget your son is still in my hands. If you don't get Ray to drop the lawsuit, I'll kill him. None of us will get out of this unscathed. Fine, go ahead and kill him then. I've already lost so many children. What's one more? After finishing his words, Noah hung up the phone directly. He sat at the entrance of the villa, looked up at the sky, curled his lips, but ended up crying while laughing. On the day I returned to the country, Clark Corporation's bankruptcy news happened to arrive. I stood downstairs, feeling somewhat dazed. This company I co-founded with Noah has ultimately come to this point as our relationship fell apart. But it doesn't matter. I've returned this time to make it stand up again in a different way. After meeting with the original shareholders, we finalized the detailed plan. After stepping out, I ran into Noah face to face. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. Without paying it any mind, I turned and walked away, but he grabbed my arm tightly. Ray, I really know I was wrong. Give me another chance. Okay, I was blinded before. That's why I did those terrible things. I'll treat you twice as well from now on. Believe me, he no longer looked like his former self, with stubble growing out and exhaustion written all over his face. I coldly averted my gaze. No need, your harm can't be undone with just a sorry. You don't love May, and now I'm stepping aside so you two can be together. With that, I turned and walked away. Noah panicked and dropped to his knees. Ray, don't go. Give me a chance to explain. Please, I'm afraid if I don't say it now, I'll never get another opportunity. I don't love her. Ray, what I want to tell you is that after all the ups and downs I've been through recently, I've realized the person I truly love is you. I just never noticed it before. I know I've hurt you deeply, and I'll spend the rest of my life making amends. Won't you forgive me? I stared at him coldly. You love me. All these years, you've repeatedly nearly taken my life. And now you tell me you love me. Why should I forgive you? Noah, you killed 7 of my children. You even watched Asmari dissected them. They were your children too. Even a vicious tiger wouldn't harm its own cubs. How could you be so heartless? I've watched all those videos, scrutinized every detail, just to sear that moment of hatred into my memory. I will make you and May pay for this. Let go. The greatest regret of my life was meeting you. You disgust me. My words turned Noah's face deathly pale, tears falling abruptly. His eyes were filled with pleading, begging for my forgiveness. I will atone. I will. I didn't listen further and turned to leave. The voice behind me grew fainter until it completely faded away. The next day, I received Noah's signed divorce papers. That afternoon, the police station received news of his surrender. He had hired hitmen multiple times in an attempt to kill me. At the same time, it was revealed that May was an accomplice. And she was arrested by the police. May's husband, upon learning of this, immediately returned to the country and chose to divorce. This storm that lasted over a month, Clark's controversy, stirred up waves upon waves online. It ultimately ended with the 2 central figures of the incident being imprisoned. I registered the studio as a company. Clark's original shareholders joined one after another. Just as the company was doing better and better, Noah's mother came to see me. Back then, she intentionally harmed May and was taken away by the police, but later might have obtained forgiveness. She was released after just a few days in custody. Now she's come to me, hoping I'll take care of her in her old age and see her off at her funeral. Ray, your mom was blinded by that bitch May back then, which is why I treated you so poorly. I know I was wrong. Is this your company? So impressive. Mom always knew you were destined for great things. Sweetheart, where are you living now? I'll go home with you later. I looked at her mockingly and turned away. Security. Get her out of here. Voices of cursing rose from behind, but they grew increasingly distant. My mother-in-law, who never truly treated me well, now naively tries to cling to me. How utterly ridiculous. Not kicking her when she's down is already the height of my kindness. Let her count the days, looking forward to her good son and daughter-in-law being released from prison to keep her company. Let's hope she can wait until then. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, so feel free to share your opinions. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great stories. We'll see you in the next video.